Welcome back. If you just joined us watching Channels Television, celebrating 21 years of professional broadcasting. This is the news at 10. Let's take a look at some other pictures you sent into our eyewitness portal. We begin with this one from Calabar. On the Calabar-Itu Road comes this picture showing a dilapidated road. Our eyewitness reporter wants the government to repair it. Going up to the FCT, we see the picture from Yaya Kashi Road. Our eyewitness reporter is asking authorities to look into waste disposal system in the area. Coming to the southwest in Ogun State is this picture from Lambe. Our eyewitness reporter is asking the government to find a lasting solution to flood problems in the area. We're now in Lagos, on the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. Our eyewitness reporter is urging government to do something about the flooding on this road. Our journey ends in Badagry area of Lagos State. Our eyewitness reporter wants authorities to do something about the productive time wasted daily at the ATMs. Thanks for sending in those pictures. Know that you too can become an eyewitness reporter for Channels Television. To other news now, it does appear the last has not been heard about the budget pending scandal rocking the House of Representatives, as one of the Department of State Security Service has sealed the office of the House Committee on Appropriation. This comes as the former chairman of the committee, Yakubu Dogara, is set to have petitioned the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over his claim of budget padding by the principal officers of the House. This move is believed to prevent any attempt to tamper with documents in the office of the Appropriation Committee. The DSS officials were set to storm the Appropriation Committee's secretariat in the National Assembly complex and locked it up. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives Committee on Appropriation has reacted to reports that the secretariat of the committee has been ransacked and valuable documents taken away. At a press conference in Abuja, the chairman of the committee, Honorable Mustafa Dawaki, explained that the secretariat is still intact. Honorable Dawaki read a letter written by the clerk of the committee to the clerk of the National Assembly, where he responded to the reports. The House of Representatives Committee on Appropriation has been making headlines since the allegations of padding of the 2016 budget was made by the former chairman, Honorable Abdul Mumini Jibrin. The shooting of workers in Nasarawa State yesterday sparked outrage, with the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Mr. Ayuba Waba, calling on the State Police Command to fish out the policeman allegedly responsible for the incident. The shots were fired at the workers were waiting for the outcome of a meeting between the NLC boss and Governor Tanko Al-Makura over the implementation of a new salary template, which prompted them to embark on an indefinite strike. One of the workers was killed, while at least 3 others, 2 of them from the State's Judicial Service Commission, and a journalist, were injured in the incident. A policeman was said to have been injured in the process as well. The State's police spokesperson, ASP Umar Numan, told Channels Television that the incident occurred as some of the workers threw stones at the general manager of Nasarawa Broadcasting Service while making his way to the government house to attend the meeting. The police said they were working to establish the circumstances that led to the shooting. The Minister of Defense, Mansur Dan Ali, says the armed forces of Nigeria and the security agencies are the powerhouse that have kept the nation afloat and will do all necessary to protect the continued unity of the country. He made this statement in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital, during a courtesy call on the Deputy Governor, Rear Admiral John Jonah, on the sidelines of his assessment tour of some facilities of the Operation Delta Safe. The minister lauds the cooperation of local hunters and residents with the military in the fight to bring lasting peace to the Niger Delta region.
In assisting our armed forces in almost all our needs, we have succeeded in the northeast with such arrangement where we have a local JTF, we call them, or civilian JTF. They are of tremendous assist our armed forces, especially when it comes to gathering of intelligence. We are also of the opinion that the states that where this the operation will be conducted will help us in identifying some of the illegal websites that were being used to either rumor mongering or selling of bad, what would I call it, sell our armed forces in a bad name.
From the Ministry of Defense to Agriculture, where the Minister, Chief Audogbe, has said the federal government plans to establish ranches in parts of the country to end frequent clashes between herdsmen and farmers. He was making the statements at a forum in Abuja, where the Benue State Governor, Samuel Otom, explained that Nigeria is not ripe for the setting up of grazing reserves. Both men were at the launch of standardization and quality by the Standards Organization of Nigeria in Abuja.
The increasing attacks by suspected herdsmen in different parts of the country and the subsequent proposal to build grazing reserves for the herdsmen have continued to generate discussions. One of the states that have had its share of clashes between herdsmen and farmers is Benue State, and two prominent sons of the state raised the issue at an event in Abuja. The governor of Benue State, Mr. Samuel Otom, kicks against the plan to establish grazing reserves in the country.
We have said it repeatedly that grazing and cattle roots paths is no longer fashionable in Nigeria. And so globally, what is fashionable, what is obtainable in breeding or rearing cattle is ranching. Why can't we do it?
But the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Chief Audogbe, assures Nigerians that the effort to build ranches is aimed at resolving the issues between herdsmen and farmers.
Definitely, the only way forward to comply with international standards is to go the way of ranching. What I want to appeal to Nigerians to do is to give us a little bit of time. We have to educate the herdsmen. We are doing that now. We have to create the ranches. We are doing that now.
Despite opposition, some state governors are buying into the plan already, as over 10 states are said to have donated 5,000 hectares of land each for the project.
Manufacturers in Nigeria are asking the federal government to expedite efforts to ease doing business in the country. Members of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, who held a meeting with the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment in Lagos, believe there is urgent need for policies that would encourage investment in the real sector. Our correspondent, Amy Thompson, reports.
The President Muhammad Buhari-led administration has identified agriculture as one of the priority sectors for development and diversification of the economy. Putting this strategy into action, the federal government has endorsed a roadmap in agriculture with objectives which include to raise agriculture's share of gross domestic product to 23%, increase share of labor force to 70%. However, stakeholders see possible hitches to realizing this goal, one of which is funding.
The Bank of Agriculture today is not as resourceful as before. If we get more resources, we have lined up quite a number of areas. We, in general, would like to support farmers across the value chain, not only at the level of primary production.
Another area which demands the federal government's attention is processing of the agricultural produce, which falls in the purview of manufacturers. In a meeting with the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, the captains of industry paint a picture of their plight in doing their work.
Is there anything that could be done to help alleviate the problem manufacturers are having currently in transporting their goods across Nigeria?
Lack of demand. Most of us work at around 20%. 25% have never worked more than that capacity.
These issues have already been thought of by the minister.
So I hear the point about why don't we aggregate everything we're doing so there's an umbrella local content legislation, or maybe not even legislation, enablement so that it can happen. We as a ministry will do our part. Given where we are now, and given if you funded the budget to the tune of the borrowings that were planned for, there's also the revenue generation challenge because of the state of the economy. And therefore, we are committed to doing everything possible because it's a win-win situation. If the economy is expanded or meant to work better, people pay more, they pay their taxes, more revenues are generated, and everybody is happy.
The manufacturers have also been challenged to initiate and propose solutions which will require collaboration between the public and private sectors and ultimately ease the process of doing business in Nigeria. Ini Thompson reporting for Channels Television News.
To politics now. Ahead of the September 10th governorship election in Edo State, job creation and empowerment of youth population are top on the agenda for the All Progressives Congress Party's campaign promises. These formed parts of speeches at the rally in Owan East local government area as the party seeks to woo the electorate.
For the All Progressives Congress campaign train, Afuze in Owa East local government area is the stop. As party supporters turn out in their numbers to hear what the Obaseki and Tribal team has to offer. But first, a word from the Deputy Governor of the state.
Come September 10th, una not go see Obaseki name. Una not go see this young boy name. Wait till I go see na APC. I beg you, vote APC. When you vote APC, we shall continue to count our blessing one by one.
Then the man at the center of the campaign, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, steps forward, assuring those present of a new dawn if he is allowed to take the reins of power.
The jobs we will create here is not only from agriculture. We will also create jobs from mining. We are attracting a lot of mining companies into Owa East. When they go to una go see one site there, una see a lot of mining equipment. Not be so. There are over 25 mining licenses in Owa East.
Governor Adams Oshiomhole tells the crowd why Mr. Obaseki is the right man to build on his achievements.
We have shown that the door is viable. And Godwin's task is to now focus on how to get the jobs. Because if you build road, you want to attract investors. If you build schools, you want to develop human capital. When you develop it, the next task is for him to create the environment for those who have gone to school to be able to work.
With the campaign train moving on, September the 10th remains the day when the electorate in Edo State will determine who governs them.
When the News at 10 returns, economist Professor Pt.2 says indiscipline in leadership is responsible for failure of public-private partnership in the country. Please stay with us.